Welcome to Brewsomebrain, the channel that brews your mind with interesting and thought-provoking content. Today we are going to explore the dark side of charm, and no, we are not talking about Darth Vader's charisma. We are talking about the toxic traits that some people have, that somehow make them attractive to others. You know that feeling when someone walks into a room and you can't help but be drawn to them? Yeah, that's the power of charm. It's like a twisted version of Beauty and the Beast, and we're here to break the curse. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the dark side of charm. But first, let's understand the difference between regular charm and toxic charm. Toxic charm, unlike regular charm, is a deceptive tool that people use to manipulate and control others. While regular charm can be used to make people feel good and foster positive relationships, toxic charm involves using certain traits and behaviors to gain power and control over others, even if it means hurting them in the process. In short, regular charm is like a refreshing glass of lemonade on a hot summer day, while toxic charm is like a glass of poisoned lemonade. It may look and taste great at first, but it can ultimately harm you. Moving further, let's dive into these 7 toxic traits. Number 1. Manipulation. Now, we all know that manipulation can be a really bad thing. But did you know that some people actually use manipulation as a way to charm others? They may twist words, withhold information, or even use flattery to get what they want. At first, it may seem like they're just really good at charming people, but in reality, they're just using charm as a means to an end. Number 2. Narcissism. Narcissism is a fancy word for being obsessed with yourself. And let's be real, who doesn't love a little bit of self-confidence? But when someone's self-obsession reaches toxic levels, it can be a real problem. They may only care about themselves and their own needs, and may even manipulate others to get what they want. Number 3. Aggressiveness. Some people are drawn to aggressive behavior because it can come off as confident and assertive. But when that aggressiveness turns into anger or violence, it's no longer charming. It can be dangerous and harmful, both physically and emotionally. Number 4. Disregard for others. People who show little concern for others may seem charming at first because they don't get bogged down with other people's problems. But in the long run, it's important to have empathy and care for those around us. Otherwise, relationships can become one-sided and ultimately unfulfilling. Number 5. Arrogance. Arrogance is another trait that can be disguised as confidence. Someone who's arrogant may seem really sure of themselves and their abilities. But when that arrogance turns into a lack of humility or a refusal to listen to others, it can be a major turn-off. Number 6. Deceit. Deceitful behavior is another trait that can be disguised as charm. Someone who lies or withholds information may be doing so to maintain a certain image or gain an advantage. But in the long run, that deceit can erode trust and damage relationships. Number 7. Controlling behavior. Some people may be drawn to controlling behavior because it can come off as protective or caring. But when that control turns into manipulation or a lack of respect for boundaries, it can be toxic and damaging to relationships. So there you have it, the 7 toxic traits that can be disguised as charm. Remember, just because someone seems charming doesn't necessarily mean they're good for you. Always be aware of red flags and trust your gut. The key to avoiding toxic charm is to recognize it for what it is. It may be tempting to fall for someone who appears charming, but it's important to take a closer look and see if the charm is genuine or manipulative. Here are a few tips for avoiding toxic charm and cultivating healthy relationships. Number 1. Pay attention to actions, not just words. Look for consistency between what someone says and what they do. Number 2. Trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Don't ignore your instincts. Number 3. Set boundaries. Don't let anyone push you into doing something you're not comfortable with. Number 4. Don't make excuses for bad behavior. If someone is treating you poorly, don't try to justify it or make excuses for them. Number 5. Surround yourself with healthy relationships. Seek out friends and partners who are kind, caring, and respectful. By following these tips, you can avoid toxic charm and cultivate healthy relationships that are built on mutual respect and trust. Remember, it's important to take your time and get to know someone before getting too involved. To sum up, it's important to be aware of the dark side of charm and the 7 toxic traits that can be disguised as attractive qualities. By identifying these traits and avoiding those who exhibit them, we can cultivate healthy and fulfilling relationships. Remember, true charm comes from authenticity, kindness, and empathy towards others. Thanks for tuning into Brewsome Brain, and if you found this video helpful, please like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any other toxic traits you'd like to share, let us know in the comments below.